go for the nape imagery. One place that I know of that we can get this is Earth Explorer. And that's USGS. And system maintenance schedule for today from 7 to 2.
Oh,
darn it.
Come on. Really does not like us
No.
today.
Shoot. Well, okay, so that's where you can get it anyways, and I can
Earth
show you that
Explorer.
later. But if you go to Earth Explorer, it's pretty you zoom into the spot you want,
Yeah.
and then it'll give you a whole bunch of choices, including Landsat and a bunch of other sources of imagery, and you define a little area that you want to have it search, and then you can it'll give you all the dates that it has it for, and then you can download it and then load it in the GIS. That's the hard way, but you actually have a copy of it. The easier way is if it's just in Arc Online already, you can just search for it in Arc Online and then bring it in. But NAIP imagery, yeah. Okay, so let's jump to the point cloud stuff
Sure.
and so that's going to come. The search for that is the Illinois Height Modernization, and it comes up with, this is for the Illinois side. Iowa has its own system, so we'll have to think about the two of them. But at least for the Illinois side, okay, so when you get to the height modernization, the easiest way to do this, I guess they have it for the whole county at a time, so you'll have to decide what you want to do. But for testing purposes, you can go to the viewer and then get one tile at a time. And so what you do is you'll zoom in on our area, and you'll see what happens here is you'll start to see the tiles of where they have LiDAR data. And let's see if we just wanted to start with our campus, for example. And we just know there'd be some nice little forest clusters, down in here, probably. And you see, this is one tile, another tile here. So when you click on one of these tiles, it'll tell you about it, what year, and then also notice, I thought it was going to show us, there's a 2020 one as well. So if you click on the right spot, you can either get the 2009 version or the 2020. I would go with the 2020 one. It's better res.
Okay.
Then you can click on more info, and it brings up the download for the LAS files. And so that's going to be this one. I'll go to, I'm just going to go to student research. Folder there for you yet. Long overdue. Alright, so here, and then we'll do the LiDAR data. So this will just be for one random tile. So they're always LAS files, and they can be opened directly into Arc Pro.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you want to, if you have like multiple tiles that you're doing, like, I mean, it'd be tedious, but if you want to get all of them for all of Rock Island, you have to download a bunch of them, and then you make what's called an LAS data set, and you point to all those files, and it bundles it into one data set and kind of links them together so that you have that. I could show you that step too, because then I just show you for two of them. That's the next one over, more info. It'll allow you to download that one into the folder.
Is it almost like a layer package? Like it'll make its own little...
It does, yeah.
Right.
So then in Pro, you start a new project. I'm going to put this into that same folder. So, student research. Okay. Okay, so I think the way this part works, Gracie, is that we go to we need the catalog on this side over here. So view catalog, not catalog view, but catalog pane. That'll work too.
Good.
Yeah. So then we browse to where we're working, in the folders, and that's the home folder. I think that's the geodate. No, there's a geodatabase there. So what you do is you right-click on the folder where you're working, you go to New, and then it's an LAS data set.
Oh,
and I think that's going to be just outside of the record.
That's okay.
Here. So New, and then LAS data set. Now I only have 2 right now, so this will be our. Okay, so then you give that one a name, and then you right-click on this and you say, does it add to new? Nope. Huh. Let's see, how do we do that? I forgot the tool we need to add them. You think that make that really obvious?
Yeah.
I wonder if we can drag and drop. Let's see. I think the sad thing is there might be a tool for it that we have to pull up here. We'll see.
Yeah.
But those will be in. Let's just see if I change some of this. Nope. Rejected.
So close.
I'll do this. My next attempt would be to connect a folder here. If this doesn't work, we will look for the tool.
Oh, it's a separate tool.
Right, I
I'll
know.
hide it from you.
I know, it's so true. Alright, student research. Now let's connect to. Let's connect to your folder. And then in here, we should find those LAS files. Let's just see if they'll drag up to LASD. Nope. Oh my god, that's so dumb.
You're right there.
I know. Okay. Lots of tools. Just wonder. So this is the other way to create one. Like, there's a tool called Create LAS. Just wondering if you can input files. Yeah. So here, maybe this is the way to go. And
yeah.
So. And then, oh my gosh, that is. Are you kidding me? Wow. Maybe we better do the whole county at once. I think too. Oh my gosh. So the LAS data set is going to be. I want that to bring back here. Recording system, it automatically pulled that in, which is good. Create DRJ. I'm just going to go ahead and. So now this will build it with the data sets already in it. So that tool at least works for getting them in, building it and getting them in. So the way this works now is you have to zoom in to actually see the point cloud because it's so dense with points. Trying to figure out like what these values are. They seem like that's way too big of a range to be the elevations around here. But there you can start to see them. Yeah. And the next thing that we want to do is we can start to do some filtering. So I have to remember how to do this. LAS filters. So you can do all points, ground, non-ground, and first returns. But I think if we go to properties, so here's the better filter for us. So I right-clicked on it and went to layer properties for it. And so, for example, now we could, do you see they have this all classified into unassigned ground, low vegetation, medium, and high vegetation. So if Verizon only wanted like full-size trees, but not areas where there's like shrubs, you can actually uncheck anything that you don't want on here.
Cool.
Yeah. And then they have like which return is it? So remember, like if it's something like a rooftop, the first return and the last return will all be the same because there's no like penetration through anything. Whereas like a tree that has like a pine tree is the ultimate case where like it may hit like different levels of branches and then finally get down to the ground and give you lots of different returns. Yeah. But this is how you get access to that. So for example, let's just say if we only wanted high vegetation, we can uncheck everything and then just do high vegetation, click OK. And now it's like this is essentially now. That's suspicious because I think it's giving us the roof, which is not cool.
Where is that?
I think that's Carver.
Is that like the football field? Maybe?
Oh, maybe. Let's just put a better backdrop on there.
I guess it is
it's
green.
Yeah.
Not real green, but you know.
Right. Oh, what is it? I think it is Carver.
That is a roof. Yeah, that's definitely Carver.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. It just didn't. And what's it? Another building
confused.
Here that it's thinking is high vegetation. Here too. Here too. So bad classification. Oh, you guys didn't get your money's worth.
Come on, God.
You're making our life harder. So got some of it. Yeah. But not all of it. You see, there's a lot of returns. I'm sure that it's dropping. That is unfortunate. It's not. Let's just see if we added in medium vegetation. That add a lot more points.
That's better.
Yeah. So let's see.
Does that one say noise?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Let's just see what it gives us. Noise.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Just a few.
Yeah, like trees.
Yeah. And I thought it'd give us buildings as a separate class.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing. Well, the other way to go. Here's the ground point. Wow, this is suspicious too, Gracie, because it's like it gives us a lot of ground. Like it's possible they did this in the winter, and then there are a lot of ground spots. Yeah. So what you can do? Wow, that's a lot. I don't know if I believe it. I think they would only classify a single point. So I think what we can do is once we have a filter made, if we go to extract, let me see. Clip a subset. I think that's what I want. So the target folder we want this to go will be Gracie folder. And we'll call this one I'm going to call them out. So I'll have so then this now, if we turn that off, is just the ground-based points. Yeah. And then if we resample this one for medium. That's the medium. Let's just see if there's any overlapping points between them, and then we'll see about elevation differences. So that was under data. And this would be the same target folder. And this was medium vegetation. one thing that I'm seeing is that the sites, the places they have as zoom in here. They would bring down the size of the point. It's bizarre. Single scale. We could do that manually. It's a little hard to tell which, but it should be the case that, for example, the ones that are slightly bigger are the ground ones, and so if we click on one of those, like that turned out to be an elevation of 618. I forget which one I clicked on. Let's just watch that one. So 618 on that one, and this one's a lot higher, 644. So that tells you that that this vegetation was at 644. As a 618 says like a 20-some foot tall tree is what that's telling me. They're right next to each other.
Cool.
So yeah, you can make a raster out of the ground, and then make a raster out of the treetops, and then do a subtraction, and that'll give you the heights of the trees there. Mm-hmm.
And so, for the treetop one, would that just be the high vegetation category then? So I would do like the ground category and then keep the high vegetation?
Yes,
and
exactly.
then those would be the ones that I'm comparing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. That's it, yeah. And also, I mean, if that was classified properly, I was hoping that it would be, because sadly it's misclassifying the buildings as high vegetation. Yes, even this.
Oh, why? It's so weird. It's like not even like a consistent color that it's getting, or
I know
an elevation. Like I can't imagine all those trees are like as tall as Carver, you know?
Right. So true. Mm-hmm. This is so weird too. How it like picks up well on this side of the tree, but not this side.
And like on those buildings, it's almost like the front facing parts.
Yeah. You know what we could try real quick is to see if the 2009, it's not going to be as current, but I wonder if for these purposes, if they did a better job with classification, if it might be. So let's, because that is dismal.
Yeah.
In the 2009 folder here. And I'm just going to load that in without doing the. You can load that in without having to do the data set as well. I think we can just bring it directly in.
Oh, okay.
If we're just doing one at a time.
Yeah.
We may have to do a refresh. Right. Alright, so let's see how this one did. Properties. Okay, look at this. They've got buildings as a class.
Yeah.
So, and look at
wow.
they have a lot more.
Classes, yeah.
Why did they
get rid of all of those?
skip out? I know, they had a
so
smaller
strange.
budget or something.
Huh.
So let's take a look. Rail, road surface. That's so cool. I mean, like transmission wires. This would be awesome for like drone flight prep, you know?
Wow.
Although it's getting pretty dated, so let's just try just the buildings. How do we do? Not good. What are we doing?
Oh no.
It's like they may have had categories for it. Let's just see. Let's see just the ground. So that. It's looking good.
I mean,
yeah, I mean that building wasn't there back then.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let's see. Why did they not have the building? Or let's see. That's unfortunate. Let's just do. Is there a DC vegetation? Oh, here. High vegetation.
Oh no.
God, are you kidding?
Oh, strange.
Yeah, so they have the ground. What do they have? Just. Let's see.
I also wonder if Iowa's, because you said they use different systems, right? The Iowa and Illinois sides. I wonder if Iowa's is anything.
Yeah, I think.
Because we'll definitely probably have to do it in Iowa's area at some point, so maybe when I get home sometime this week, I'll mess around with Iowa's and see what theirs is like too.
Okay. Well, it looked like there was a lot in unclassified.
Okay.
Unclassified.
Maybe we made a lot of classes and didn't do a lot of classifying. You know?
Right! I know, it's so dumb.
It was the illusion of choice
Yeah,
that they wanted to give you.
The illusion. So, synthetic key point withheld. So they definitely have ground. Do they have anything? No veg. It's like all those are empty. Looked so promising, Gracie.
Yeah.
So yeah, unclassified is the majority.
Yeah, big bulk of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got it. I mean, I'm guessing what they have here, so let's just turn off all of these. So you can call out the different, so that's, I know that this is automatically done without any intervention, so that's all the first returns. That's going to get the top of the buildings.
Okay.
And the ground, honestly, is the most important one.
Yeah.
It's going to be the ground or something standing above the ground. And if you had, for example, this is how it would work. If you had, for example, a based on what we talked about before with the NAPE imagery, if you already had a GIS layer that showed where all the tree patches are, then you're going to do the difference. You would just have to clip out only those points that fall in your treat areas, especially over that threshold.
Yeah.
And then you'll separate out the first return from the ground, and now you'll get your patches of trees and the heights without having to have all that. But I was kind of hoping this classification would give us the trees, but it just they haven't done their side of it. Yeah. So, but I think that combination of methods, the NAPE imagery to get a better resolution of the tree areas, and then using the LiDAR, the ground versus for like some of the version first return or whatever. Yeah. And again, it had high vegetation, but that'll by doing the NAPE part, it'll already have gotten rid of the buildings.
Okay.
And then that 2020 version had the ground and it had the trees, the heights of the trees, or you could just go with first return as the top of the tree.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but once you have that, let's go back because we know the 2009 didn't work, so I'm going to remove that. But if you have called these out as separate groups, like I think, what was that group that I did? Oh, yeah, here's the ground. I don't know what that is. But here's the high vegetation in the medium, and here's the ground. If you've called out those two rasters, you can then do. I know. Let me just hit pause on this little recording. I have to search for something. So based on SideX method, so we'll go to the geoprocessing. LAS to there you go. So in this case, if we wanted to make a raster of the ground itself, we would then pull in the one that we had made from that. So just do the ground one. Output raster is ground. LiDAR 2020. The field will be elevation. Let's see what he said for a few more of these parameters. I'll send this file to you too.
Perfect. That would be amazing.
So you have elevation, interpolation type binning, cell assignment type is average, void fill linear, output float, sampling type is cell size. And then he was making a 3 meter DEM is what he put in for the sampling value. That's essentially the cell size of the raster that'll be made out of it. In this case, the Z factor, I think because the data was coming in as meters and he wanted it in feet, he's using the 3.281 conversion for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's look at our options here. Binning, saw, void, linear. I think those are all the same. We're taking the defaults. Output type will be floating point. Our choices there are integer. So we want it to be floating. That'll give us decimal places for it rather than having to jump to a whole unit.
Okay.
We'd have to look at the metadata to see if it's meters or feet. But we should, once this makes this layer, we can determine. Let's see, I think. Oops. Let's just see which one. Around here, should be like 500 to 700 if it's in feet. Did I miss it? Might have missed one of the points. Oh, here we go. Oh, it is in feet. 621 feet above sea level.
Okay.
So elevation is already going to be in feet, so we don't need a z-factor conversion if we want this in feet. And then the sampling value is going to be the output raster size. And so for that, let's just put that. I think, what is this? I think this is in Illinois State Plane,
Okay.
which the units are already in feet.
Yeah.
So this will be a 1 foot cell size with, so the other thing that I want to do is I don't want to make this for too big of an area because it'll take a long time to process. Like, well, I guess it's for that one time. I'm going to set the environments for now to be the extent of the processing. Let me just make it to be the same as this window here.
Okay.
Just for this little test. Save as current display. Cell size. It's going to get it from here. I think we're good to go. So now this one, because I used the ground as the input, this is filtering out everything and makes us a nice little DEM.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And in fact, this really ties back to our other stuff because if we made a shaded relief of this, it gives us like and that we were using all the Illinois data for our mapping project.
Oh,
so
cool.
this is how they did it,
That's
essentially.
really cool.
So let's rerun that tool. And this time, we'll put in there the high and medium vegetation points. The output will be high and medium vegetation LiDAR. 2020 elevation, all those. We want this to be 1. Environments. Same as display. We're going to get same as the ground. So there you can see everything that stands.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lowest ground was 580. The lowest of the high, there's no place that was that low. And then you see that the high end is higher.
Yeah, definitely.
So to get the height of everything, we'll see what this looks like. We would then go to the raster calculator. And we could take that vegetation height minus ground. And again, we know buildings are in here, so we can just ignore that. So a little bit suspicious. There's a couple places where the vegetation is lower. Definitely some funky interpolation stuff going on here. But that basically is the idea.
Okay, very nice.
Stretch. Classify. So Carver stands out. And let's see, this is going to be in feet above ground. So if we did natural breaks, let's just do a defined interval. How about that be 10 feet? Is there really something 90 feet tall out there? I don't know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. we can.
I always wonder if that.
Like this is saying 69 feet, 70 feet. I don't know what is. Yeah, I guess trees could be that tall, couldn't they? Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Don't really think about it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty tall.
60 feet tall tree. What's over here? Not sure what it's picking up on there. Some kind of a tall tower or something to see how it's got something false there. But again, the idea here would be is that you would already have had just clipped out all your trees, so you'd have a footprint that would block out everything but make a polygon here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a simpler area for it to work with.
Exactly. Yeah. So it does seem like
great.
All those pieces together would get you what you're looking for.
Definitely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
You're welcome.
How cool.